If you're running Romex in your house for a new circuit or extending an existing circuit, how can you secure the Romex if there's no space to hammer a staple into a stud or a joist? In this video, I'll show you 5 hacks for securing Romex when space is tight. Now, before I get to the first method, let's talk about why we even need to secure Romex in the first place. Well, most electrical codes say that you have to secure Romex close to a device box and at least every 4.5 feet along the run. Electrician U has a good article that talks about these requirements, and I'll link to it in the description below. The typical method is to hammer a cable staple into the joist or stud. Now that works until you run into a pipe or duct that's too close to the joist. And if you tried to hammer a staple in, you would damage the pipe or the duct. Now, method number 1 and the simplest solution is to actually hammer the staple into the joist or stud, but just turn the hammer sideways. I found this works much better than I thought it was going to work. I filmed myself using this side hammer technique in 2 spots recently. The first shows you how turning the hammer sideways actually gives you a fair bit of space to drive the staple in. Now, sorry about the shaking, the camera was attached to the joist. The second shows how it is not that hard to hammer the staple in all the way. If you have a duct run in the same joist cavity that you need to run your Romex, try the side hammer method first to hammer that staple to the joist. Method 2 is to use a cable tie mount. This is what they look like, and they come with screws to attach them to the joist. Use a right-angled drill bit holder and screw a cable tie mount to the joist. The space shown in the video is only 3 inches, so you don't need a lot of room for this method. Then use a UL listed zip tie to secure the Romex to the joist. Now, often this won't be as tight as a staple, but it's really no different than when the Romex is secured in a hole through the joist. If you want the Romex to be held tightly, you can use a smaller zip tie or only use one of the holes in the cable tie mount. I'll link to the right-angled drill bit holder in the description below. I like how this method fits into really tight spots. The third method is to create your own cable holders that attach to the joist. I suggest you use a piece of 2x2. I cut a 6-inch piece of 2x2 so it fits inside the joist cavity. I marked the center of the 2x2 and marked where the 3 3/4 inch holes will go. The top hole will be 1 1/4 inch from the top, then 2 holes 1 1/4 inch apart. To prevent blowout on the back when drilling with a spade bit, I first drilled a small hole through where the center of each hole will be. Then I used a spade bit and drilled part way from one side before flipping the 2x2 over and drilling through from the other side. This makes clean holes for the cable to go through. Then on the adjacent side, I drilled 2 holes for the screws that will hold the 2x2 to the joist. These holes are at about a 45-degree angle, so the screws can be driven in without the pipe or duct interfering. I started drilling straight to get the drill bit into the wood, and then angled the drill and drilled through to the other side. I first clamped the 2x2 to the joist so it won't move when screwing it to the joist. I drive the 2 2.5-inch screws through the pre-drilled holes. After I remove the clamp, I can run the Romex through the holes. If you have a number of these along a joist, you can make sure they are lined up by measuring the same distance from the bottom of the joist and using a speed square to make a vertical line. Line up the hangers with these marks and make sure they are spaced about 3 feet apart. You can adapt this idea by changing the number of holes or the length of the 2x2 to fit your situation. The fourth method is ideal when you need to drill through joists, but the space that you have is in between, let's say, ductwork and another set of pipes. You can't drill multiple holes in the joists close together because it will compromise the strength of the joist. Instead, create your own hangers and attach them to the bottom of the joists. Now, the space I had was maybe 9 or 10 inches, so I cut sections of 2x4 to 7 inches long. I started by drilling pocket holes using the 1.5-inch setting close to the end of each of the 2x4 segments. Then I drilled 3 holes, either 3/4 inch or 1 inch, in the center of the 2x4, making sure I did not drill too close to the pocket holes. Now I used a spade bit, but an auger bit would work just as well. Using the 2.5-inch pocket hole screws, I attached the hanger to every second joist where the cables needed to run. Then I could pull the cables through the holes in the hangers. The fifth method is good when the space is limited, but there are already water pipes attached to the bottom of the joists where you want to attach the Romex. You don't have space to hammer in the staples for the Romex, and you don't want to risk damaging those pipes. You can create a hanger that goes over the pipes but has holes for you to be able to run your cables. The space I had beside this duct was about 5 inches. I had a 5-inch wide piece of 3/4-inch plywood left over from another project, which was perfect to create this hanger. Measure the space needed for the pipes. In my case, I needed a notch that was 2.5 inches wide and 1.5 inches deep. Then I can add 3 3/4-inch holes below to hold the cables. I'll attach the hanger to the bottom of the joist using pocket holes. I marked out the notch and where the holes will go. I cut the plywood at 4 inches after I'm done. It's easier to keep as much material for clamping while you're cutting the notch and the holes. I started by drilling the pocket holes using the 3/4-inch setting. I want as much plywood as possible to position and clamp the jig. Then I drilled pilot holes for the cable holes. The challenge when drilling larger holes in plywood is blowout at the back of the plywood. So to prevent this from happening, I drill a pilot hole full the way through the plywood, and then what I can do is I can drill using my spade bit from each side. This gives me a clean hole to be able to run the cables through. Next, I drilled holes in the corner of the notch. I used my jigsaw to cut the straight sides of the notch, starting with each side and then the bottom of the notch from the 2 holes. Finally, I cut the hanger at the 4-inch line I had marked earlier. I tested the fit, and when I was satisfied, I sanded all the edges and surfaces so there were no sharp edges. I positioned the hanger and attached it to the joist with the pocket hole screws. Now I can run my cable in the holes below the pipes. Now this would also work if you had pipes attached to the side of a joist. You could put this hanger where it fits over the pipes, and then you could run the Romex beside it. When you're working on a DIY electrical project and you have to run Romex in a tight space, now you have 5 different ways to do it. Let me know in the comments below which method you would choose and if you have other creative solutions that we can learn from. I'll link to the right angle drill bit, the cable tie mounts, and the other tools and supplies in the description down below. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, where I publish videos on projects, tools, and products that we can use to improve our homes. If you're doing DIY electrical projects around your house, here are some other videos I think you'll find interesting. Thanks for watching.